Welcome to Building Something Admirable, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of how to start a healthcare-related business. I'll share each step that we took to establish our now thriving practice at Meyer Medical, including our highs and lows, insider advice, and real-life lessons in every episode. Good evening, budding medical entrepreneurs. This is Alex for the Building Something Admirable podcast. I wasn't going to record anything tonight, but then the negotiation saga continues, so here we go. So, to recap where we've been, very briefly, I won't go all the way back. Basically, maybe the issue of leaving because the finances and the work burden were getting a bit too much, and they initially came back with a higher salary offer for the administrative responsibilities here at the hospital. That by itself wasn't enough to cover all of the issues, and so instead, that was after already putting my 90 days notice, of course. So then from there, I declined that offer and said, listen, it genuinely is about the time and the additional resources it would take from us to make up that time, involving call and scribing responsibilities. Well, then I came up with a solution for the scribing responsibilities, and their short-sightedness at the national level turned them down. They weren't cool with the telescribing service. Okie dokie. So then instead, I said, okay, well, they found a solution for the call problem, so I appreciated that, but still, a lot of time there that I'm not ever getting back. So why don't we go with a re-signing bonus or a signing bonus, and I could use that to help pay for a scribe. And just got a response. Now, it was initially received reasonably well from the interim head of the hospital, and there was, been working with his boss for a while, and so I just got a response back after putting in my negotiation point on Friday, and basically said they don't essentially offer signing bonuses for someone already in the market, and even if they did, they'd never use the bonus at that size. Oh well. My response, of course, was, I'm sorry that's the case, and best of luck. The reason being, it ain't about the money. It's about what it needs to pay for. So I'm going to stick by my guns, because genuinely, I'm not just trying to pick a number to feel like the big guy. I'm pick a number because I actually need it to pay for the stuff. And I know that they need someone in that position. So they can sift through whatever other candidates they have, and best of luck to them. I'm a little bit bitter about it because, again, the unwillingness to play a little bit of ball here reflects the ongoing short-sightedness that appears to be in the corporate culture. If that's the case. That might have been a bit too much. I'm just a little annoyed, because now it forces me to continue with the current issue, which actually gets me to the other discussion point that I was gonna go with until I saw the email, if I ended up doing a recording. And that point was that some days you win just by finishing the day. And today wasn't a bad day by any means. I got a decent amount of stuff done, but you have these days sometimes where you just kind of don't feel like you've done much, even if you did. And I was listening to the Mark Manson podcast, or watching the YouTube channel yesterday, and was it Mark Manson? No, it was Chris Williamson. And he was talking about another host or guest one time had said, which is the power of low self-esteem as a driving force in a lot of entrepreneurs. And what that is genuinely happy, well-adjusted people typically don't go into entrepreneurship. Obviously, that's not the case for everybody, but often you don't have this relentless, nagging drive. The people that work 12 hours and then go home and maybe eat dinner and then keep working, or go to bed, wake up and do it again. The ones who sacrifice their nights and weekends into perpetuity aren't usually the people who are well-adjusted and satisfied and all that stuff. You can't be satisfied often and do this kind of thing. You're trying to prove something, and in the short term, I mean, if anyone's ever read Elon Musk's biography by Walter Isaacson, I think I might have mentioned this in a different episode. Blocking the camera there. He often talks about how you don't want to be him. People envy him, and in the same way, I was watching a different thing today, talking about Bill Gates and all those usual characters that people look up to, and people envy those people. But when you look at what it took to get there, few would actually trade the years of their 20s and 30s for what those billionaires have now. I mean, hell, I don't know if I would. And I already have sacrificed a lot of time. But, you just gotta express gratitude. And that's one thing that Chris Williamson had mentioned in that episode, was when he catches himself feeling that ongoing, I'm not good enough, or I need to do more, or that kind of thing. Take a pause, self-reflect, and find something about which you can express a little gratitude. So that's what I'm going to do right now, because even though I, signed my usual notes and recorded some stuff for the website and marketing and everything, I just still feel like, even before the discouraging negotiation setback here, I still wasn't feeling that I'd finished anything today, even though I did. But after a while, I noticed kind of getting to this point where you're moving the goalposts. So for a year ago, knocking out 20 notes, even though I have Angela with me now, so even less impressive to see all these folks. That used to be a good pat on the back kind of day. It's like, 23 notes times X dollars a note. Yeah, I did some work there. Whereas now it's like I only saw my usual patients. I didn't move anything else to a state of completion, and that's a frustrating place to be. But the day's not over. So before I go home, eat dinner, and then move to the next frustrating thing to try and make up for that lack of completion, I'm grateful for my family. That's what everyone says. But genuinely, going home, my wife has made us a nice dinner that she's probably already eaten, or worse, I hope she didn't hold off waiting for me. I work with my sister, and we have a very good working relationship in the company. I'm very fortunate to have someone like Angela, and I'm just grateful for the environment that I find myself in. Difficult as it may be. This was a setback today. I thought this was going to be an opportunity to provide a little bit of financial comfort and security, but maybe not today. So now, maybe not today. So, when you have moments like this, setbacks that you didn't see coming, you can either lick wounds, you can either get pissed, or you can just get back to business. And so that's what I'm going to do. So for tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the book funnels to start collecting emails for an email list. So once I put those up, then we're going to share the link and a little backstory across all of our socials, and then this way you get some traction there. I think that doing that will make me and make everyone else I admire feel a little bit better about the little setback we had, because we succeed together and we overcome this kind of crap together too. And man, when we nail one of these things, we're doing just fine, but when we nail one of these things, really hit it out of the park, we're going to celebrate together. And that's what I was hoping to do with this one. We'd actually already been planning to take a little company day off and vacation to the beach to celebrate when this plane was landed. But we regroup, make a plan, do it again tomorrow. So, with that, the plan is going to be, I'm going to work on those funnels tonight. I'm going to kiss my wife. And what else can I do? I'll sign some reimbursement checks. That's what I'll do. I think between those three things, I'll be pretty happy. But Admire will continue to progress. We'll do better and better. And we'll laugh about this one later. And that's the other reason why I wanted to record these. I wanted to track these moments so I can look back at this, in a couple months from now, optimistically, and remember this feeling, and say to myself, man, if only I knew that by August X, Y, and Z would be happening, or whatever it might be. Thanks for watching. If you got any tips for how to bounce back from one of these, or how you did it yourself, please share. I appreciate those comments below as much as you can put them in there. If you have anything specific you'd like me to address or follow up on this one, please let me know. And otherwise, best of luck with your business. Talk about it next time. Have a good night. Stay tuned for more insider advice on building something admirable. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe below.